The night he almost lost her was the night every memory came rushing back like a song he could never stop playing. Rain blurred the city lights into streaks of gold and silver, and as Daniel stood outside the old train station, soaked and shaking, he realized that love was not something you remembered quietly. It was something that hurt, something that burned, something that demanded courage when fear was easier. Somewhere beyond those doors was Emma, the woman who had taught him that forever was not a promise spoken once, but a choice made again and again. They had met years earlier, when life felt lighter and dreams felt endless. Emma was the kind of woman who smiled with her eyes, who listened as if every word mattered. Daniel was quieter, carrying the weight of expectations and unfinished ambitions. Their first conversations were simple, almost shy, but the connection between them grew quickly, deep and undeniable. Long walks turned into late-night talks, and stolen glances turned into deep kisses that felt like pauses in time. With her, Daniel felt seen. With him, Emma felt safe. They built their love in moments, unaware of how fragile even the strongest feelings could be. As the months passed, reality crept in. Daniel's career began to demand more of him, pulling him away with long hours and constant travel. Emma tried to be patient, telling herself that love meant understanding, but loneliness has a quiet way of planting doubt. Phone calls became shorter, messages less frequent. When they were together, there was still passion, but something else lived between them now, unspoken and heavy. Emma feared she was slowly becoming a memory in Daniel's life, filtered and distant, while Daniel believed his sacrifices were for their future. The first real crack came on a night meant to celebrate them. Daniel arrived late to their anniversary dinner, distracted and exhausted. Emma had waited, watching couples laugh and hold hands, wondering if love was supposed to feel like this. When he finally sat down, apologies spilled from his mouth, but she heard excuses instead. Words turned sharp, emotions overflowed, and for the first time, they questioned whether love alone was enough. They left the restaurant separately, each convinced the other did not truly understand. Time did not heal them. Distance only made the silence louder. Emma began to rebuild herself without him, finding strength in her independence, though her heart still ached when certain songs played. Daniel, surrounded by success, felt empty. Every achievement reminded him of who he wished were standing beside him. He replayed memories of her laughter, her warmth, the way she used to rest her head on his chest. The love song of their past followed him everywhere, haunting and beautiful. Their reunion was accidental, yet inevitable. They ran into each other at a small cafe, years later, both changed but instantly familiar. The air between them was heavy with everything unsaid. They spoke cautiously at first, catching up on surface details, avoiding the deeper truths. But love does not stay quiet forever. Over coffee that went cold, they finally allowed honesty to speak. Emma confessed how invisible she had felt. Daniel admitted how afraid he was of failing her, of not being enough. Tears fell, not from anger this time, but from relief. They decided to try again, knowing it would not be easy. Love after heartbreak is braver, more fragile. They promised to communicate, to choose each other even when it was hard. But challenges returned, testing them once more. Old fears resurfaced. Emma struggled to trust that Daniel would stay. Daniel fought the instinct to bury himself in work. There were arguments, moments when walking away felt tempting. Yet each time, they remembered why they started, why their love had once felt like home. The turning point came when Emma was offered a chance to move abroad for a dream job. It was everything she had worked for, everything she deserved. But it meant leaving Daniel behind. The choice felt cruel, forcing love and ambition onto opposite sides. Emma feared sacrificing herself again, while Daniel feared becoming the reason she did. For days, they avoided the conversation, until silence became unbearable. On the night before her decision, they walked through the city, hand in hand, revisiting places filled with memories. They talked openly, without fear, without blame. Daniel told her he loved her enough to let her go if that was what she needed. Emma realized then that love was not possession, but support. In that moment, she understood that forever did not mean staying still. It meant growing, even if the path changed. Emma took the job. Distance returned, but this time it did not break them. They learned new rhythms, new ways to stay connected. They sent voice notes instead of texts, shared songs that reminded them of each other, and counted down days instead of dwelling on absence. When they reunited months later at the same train station where Daniel once stood alone in the rain, their embrace felt like victory. They had survived distance, doubt, and fear. As they kissed beneath the fading lights, memories flooded back, no longer painful, but powerful. Filtered through time, they had become proof of resilience. Daniel whispered that she was forever his, not as a claim, but as a promise to keep choosing her. Emma smiled, knowing that forever was not guaranteed, but it was possible when two hearts refused to give up. Their story was not perfect, but it was real. Love tested them, broke them, rebuilt them. And in the end, they learned that true romance was not about never hurting, but about healing together. As the music of their lives played on, they walked forward side by side, knowing that no matter where life took them, the love they fought for would always be theirs.